Hello, hello, how you doing? I know it's been a while, so apologies for that, but I'm back today with a video on how you can take professional photos using just your iPhone and remove the background from these photos. Let's get started. So for the speed demons among you, I am going to whiz through this really quick, and then what I will do afterwards is go back through it slower for anyone who didn't get it first time around. So to start with, you're going to need to take your product photo. Obviously, the best way to do this in terms of being able to remove the background easily afterwards is to use a plain background. I've got here a black sweeping background set up ready, and that will work nicely to take a photo of this product here, which is one of my filament spools. Okay, so first step is take the photo. Voila, photo's taken. Once you've taken your photo, you can go into Pages, and all you have to do is add photo or video, choose the photo, then click the paintbrush, instant alpha, and you're then going to want to drag across the black sections to remove the background. When you're doing this, you want to be careful of the colours that are similar in your image. Obviously, I've used quite a dark product here in sections, and so a white background probably would have been better. So you go through, tapping on the section you want to remove, and dragging across to adjust the level of tolerance. Once you're happy with your photo, you click done, and there you are. The background is removed. The slightly annoying thing about this process is that you can't export directly from Pages itself. You have to first tap the image, cut, move across to Notes, paste the image, and then tap on that, and from there you can then save the image. The good thing about that step though is it does allow you to look and check that the background has properly been removed from the item, which it indeed has. Okay, so that was a really quick run through of the process. I'm now going to go over it again in a little bit more detail. First thing, as I said before, is you're going to want a background that works for the process. Either a black, white, green background. The main thing you're shooting for here is you want it to be as different from the product as possible. The high contrast between the backdrop and the product itself makes it much easier for the software to be able to separate the product and the backdrop, and so you can remove the background much easier. Here, this box is a good example of high contrast with the black background, but the spool itself isn't great. It's very dark. The background, being black, is very dark as well. So for this exact setup, the most ideal background probably would have been a mid-grey, the balance of the two. The second thing you're going to want to do to optimise is light. The more light you can get on the product, one, the better it looks, because the camera will be able to take a much cleaner, crisper image, but also that clarity makes it much easier to separate the background from the product itself, because there's sharp lines rather than a blurry edge. I've got a reasonable lighting setup in here today because I'm shooting, but if you were taking this out and about, try and get as many lights as you can on it. They talk about 3-point lighting in shooting, so one left, right and above, and that will give you the optimum setup. Okay, so I'm going to go through it again now. The software that we're using for this job is Pages. It's an app that's freely available on the Apple App Store. It will probably have come pre-installed on your phone, as it's one of the native document processing applications. So let's open that up. Once you're in Pages, you're going to want to add a photo, and you can do that by adding one in you've already taken, or you can go straight to the camera and go from there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn flash on this time to help remove the shadow that I'm creating. And voila, there we go, I've used that photo. Once the photo has been added, we then go to the paintbrush, instant alpha. For those of you that have a MacBook, you might be familiar with the instant alpha tool. They used to have I think they still have it actually in the preview. Okay, so now what we're trying to do is remove the background. We have to tap anywhere on the image, but anywhere on the background of the image, and drag across that section to increase the tolerance. You'll see as I'm dragging across, that tolerance is increasing and more of the image is being selected. You'll see here where I iterate between 18%, 19, 20, 21%, that it starts selecting almost too much of the image and it's actually taking out a bit of the product. So we're just going to want to dial that back to where none of that green is encroaching on the product image itself. So there we are, about 19%, looks good. And then do that somewhere else on the backdrop. Up here, drag across, increasing the amount. So at about 8%, we're not cutting out any of that image. If at any point you do make a mistake and you take out too much of your image, you can always click back and revert the process. So in this step, you're going to want to take your time and maximise the amount of background you can remove while minimising the amount of product removed along with it. So you can see this is starting to shape up quite nicely now. I've got some fine details here, so I'm going to zoom in. Take out this section of black here. And there we go. Not too bad. Not ideal, not perfect, but not too bad. Can then tap, cut, move across to notes, paste, tap again, hit the share icon, and save image. That image will then appear in your photos. And of course, all of this is free, all of this is ad-free as well, and it does work really well. If you've got a good setup with an optimum background, this produces some really crisp images. So there you have it, that's the video. That's how you can use your iPhone to easily take a photo and remove the background and create some really professional product photography just from your phone without even having to use your laptop. I hope that's helpful to you. If it was, please give this video a like and by all means share, subscribe. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments section below if you have any alternative ways of doing this. See you next time.